For the last 37 days, our universities have been in a situation that has stalled in terms of education. There is nothing happening in our universities because of the lecturer strikes and also the non-teaching staff strike that is ongoing. And it seems the government has totally abdicated its duty because we do not see the urgency on the side of government when it comes to handling the strike that is currently ongoing in our universities. And it is very appalling. And to make the matter worse, we have seen in the recent past that the government has now started threatening Wasu and Kudeiha. Yet what they are asking for is the government to honor what the government has already signed in the past. And we are demanding and asking. The money that the lecturers are requesting and the members of Kudeiha is 7.9 billion Kenya shillings, which is covering up for several years. And if you look at how the government has been spending money in the recent months, as it was actually released by the government itself, we have seen that the preference of releasing exchequer or money has gone into votes that are engaged in political management. That is why you see the operations and management budgets in the big offices. For only 2 years in the financial year, they had already exhausted money for the entire half of the year. So the country is very eager to fund political management and to fund political barazas like the one we've been seeing in the name of empowerment, but they cannot find 7.9 billion shillings to honor a CBA that is already in place, as signed through Wasu and Kudeiha. And therefore we are asking the ministry concerned, the Ministry of Education, and especially the part that handles the higher learning, and also the National Treasury, please stop taking our universities into a circus. We need this money sent. We need the arrears paid to the beneficiaries so that our institutions of higher learning can go back to business as usual. And it is disappointing to see that there seems to be no urgency. No one in government is even aware, so to say, that there is a strike ongoing in our universities. It is very, very disappointing. And we need this to be resolved because the government has money. They need to drop the lethargy. They need to drop allocating money to non-priority areas because education remains an important segment of our society. In the same note, Kenyans must have noted that some of our schools actually closed earlier than anticipated in regards to JSS and higher and senior secondary. And it is basically because the government also refused and abdicated to set money for capitation to the JSS learners and to the schools in the senior secondary. And I'm wondering, what is then the priority? We seem to have our priorities upside down because what we say in public, and especially what the government says in public, they don't seem to want to honor it when it comes to where the rubber meets the road. That our schools across the country received just a small fraction of capitation. And some had to actually close earlier because they had no money to run the schools for the remaining days. It is important that we bring back education to where it belongs in Kenya. And it belongs to a higher pedestal. And it belongs to a higher priority. So that even before we engage in ostentatious political fundings, let us focus our might into funding education and take the primacy of education with the respect, with the weight that it deserves.